y is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 4, for what values of x will y be positive. So let's write the question or the equation. Y is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 4. So the question is, we want to find the values of x which will make the y value positive or greater than 0. So the question is, what's the value of x? Which are the values of x which will make y greater than 0? This is the question. You can do this by trial and error, but the good way is to do it algebraically and going through the thinking process. So let's factorize this, and then we'll graph this. So if you factorize this, so well, this is x minus 4 times x minus 1, x minus 1. So to make this 0, so if you graph this, so let me show you. So let's take this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Now this is a quadratic. Hopefully you should know how to graph it. So the parabola would look somewhat like this. So the values will make this 0 is, say, this is 1 and this is 4. So the parabola would go somewhat like this. So basically at 1, when x is 1 and when x is 4, the parabola is becoming 0. Okay, so, or in other words, to understand this, if you say when y is equal to 0, if you set y equal to 0, I can say 0 is equal to x minus 4 times x minus 1. So which value of x will make this equation 0? Well, x is equal to 1 when x is equal to 1, or when x is equal to 4. So for these two, the equation is going to be 0. So when x is 1 and when x is 4, the y value, so this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So when x is 1 or y is 4, and when x is 4, you can say the y value is equal to 0. So the question is, for which value of x is y going to be positive? Well, if you use your common sense, this is the area, this is what we're talking about. Any value in this area and this area will make, these are the y, for these, or this part of the graph is where y is positive. This is positive and this is positive. So if you just use this graph, we can say when x is less than -1, that's one possibility. When you take any when x is less than 1, if you take any value to the left, if you take any value which is less than 1 or greater than 4, any value which is greater than 4, or you can say when x is greater than 4, it will be positive. You plug in any value which is less than 1. So let's try, say if you put 0 here, can you say it's going to be 4? If you put -1, so let's do some trial and error. At this stage it is fine to do the trial and error. So let's say x is, say, -2. What will happen? It's going to be -2 squared minus 5 times -2 plus 4. So hopefully you can see this is going to be positive, this is positive. You can see this is greater than 0. If you take any negative value, this is always going to be positive. This is always going to be positive. This is also going to be positive. This is going to be positive. This is going to be positive, and this is already 4, or this is positive. So if you take any negative value, this is going to be, all of them are going to be positive, and so it's going to be greater than 0. But let's take a point between 1 and 4. So let's say when x is 3 or x is 2, what will happen? It is 2 squared. This is 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 4. So what's happening here? So this is 4 minus 10 plus 4. So this is going to be negative 2, and this is less than 0. So in other words, when x is, now to understand, for this area, this is the negative part. When x is between 1 and 4, the y value is going to be negative. So we can say there are 3 results here. So you can say y is less than 0 when x is between 1 and 4. When x is between 1 and 4, the y value is going to be negative. Y is equal to 0 when x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 4, and that's what we saw to start with. And y is greater than 0 under 2 conditions: when x is less than 1, or x is greater than 4.